They had a batch of 900 military and overseas ballots. All 900 military overseas ballots went for Biden. Every single one.
At the end of this clip, you see Sean Kilbane saying all 900 military and overseas ballots went for Biden. Every single one? It was actually 950 military and overseas ballots that went for Biden. This was fact-checked by USA Today. And their headline says, "Fact check. Georgia military overseas ballots not evidence of election fraud." I suppose it's evidence of the most secure election ever. This 900 ballots figure comes from an audit file. It's actually 950 ballots for Biden, 0 for Trump. Then there is another batch that can be seen, 130 votes for Trump, 0 for Biden. But everyone avoids explaining the chain of custody for these batches. How do batches of ballots turn up favoring just one candidate? You got to know who sorted them. If you don't know who's sorting your ballots, you have a problem. You have problems like this right here. Is this a double entry? This is an entry on the same audit file all the media were talking about when they fact-checked the 130 and 950. This is a 446 vote gain for Biden right here. No media talked about this on the audit file. They all looked at it. They all looked at the 130. They looked at the 950. They ignored this double entry error. One entry is for election day voting. The other entry is for absentee by mail, identical entries. The B is lowercase for the second entry, and they changed it to election day. The other one is left as absentee by mail, or vice versa. I don't know which one's fake and which one's real, but it's a deliberate entry because it's a different letter. It's a lowercase b. They changed the category of the vote, switching it from election day votes to absentee by mail, or vice versa. The corporate media looked at this audit file. They saw the same stuff I'm showing you here, and they ignored it. And they said, this is a fact check and it shows there's no evidence of election fraud. They ignored this double entry. This is what they did? I don't know what to say about it. It's gaslighting 101. There's other entries in there that are kind of questionable. And the way they've been having people do these scavenger hunt through audit files is a ridiculous red herring. You're simply going to look at votes that they accepted already that shouldn't be there in the first place. Like this 446 votes I just showed you.
The American people as a whole are losing faith in their election system. With all this secrecy and these shenanigans going on, it's easy to see why. If I never showed you this suspicious double entry, would anyone even know about it? Never. As far as we know, these votes were counted, and this is a 440 net gain vote for Biden. Nothing was ever done about it. That entry is still there. The Georgia Secretary of State's office took down the web page where you could get it. File name is Audit Report November 3rd, 2020 General Election 2020-11-19. You will have to use an archived version of the webpage because, they took it down. That suspicious double entry is still there. You can still pull it off the archived website. You can see the lowercase b. It is definitely a deliberate entry. The audit file the media used to debunk widespread voter fraud might actually have a piece of voter fraud in it. Instead of explaining any of this, the Georgia Secretary of State took down the webpage, and then they blocked me from the website. I messaged Sean Kilbane about this, and, this was his reaction. Understand that nothing was released yet. The Georgia Secretary of State's office did this just because I was downloading publicly available files. This was eventually resolved, but like everything else, whenever you engage with the Georgia Secretary of State's office, it looks bad.